Shanghai's empty echoes, a nation gripped by disease, despair, and deception in 2025. Envision yourself in the core of Shanghai, a city once alive with energy, its soaring skyscrapers and throngs of people shaping its identity. Yet on a sunny Saturday morning in June 2025, an unsettling stillness blankets the streets, bare of human presence. Landmarks like Raffles City, Dragon Dream, and Jing'an Park, formerly buzzing with life, now loom in ghostly quiet. Occasional cars drift past, and malls resemble forsaken ruins. A Douyin user grieved. Shanghai, a global city, now feels like an abandoned shell. Where has everyone gone? This eerie phenomenon extends beyond Shanghai, touching Beijing, Guangzhou, and other urban hubs. What's draining the vitality from these once thriving centers? A lethal COVID-19 variant, economic ruin, and a regime accused of concealing the truth. A silent killer, the XTV-1 outbreak. A resurgent pandemic offers part of the explanation. On May 29, 2025, Dr. Yi, Deputy Chief of Orthopedic Trauma at Beijing's Wanjing Hospital, issued a stark warning on Douyin about XTV-1, a new COVID-19 strain spreading with unprecedented speed. It can trigger respiratory collapse within 48 hours, often through silent hypoxia, where lungs fail unnoticed. Dr. Lin Xiaoyi, a Guangdong pediatrician, affirmed COVID never vanished. Infection rates are surging. China CDC reported a 16.2% positivity rate in late April 2025, twice that of early April. However, the CCP is alleged to suppress the crisis, compelling doctors to misdiagnose cases as influenza A or mycoplasma pneumonia. Social media exposes families struck by brutal symptoms, throats raw, blood in coughs, raging fevers. A Guangdong user posted, "All 12 of us tested positive. It spread like lightning." Almost any company that has a collection of these can provoke a brilliant idea. Extensive death. Beyond the virus, a worsening economic downturn is forcing people into seclusion. Shanghai's malls, once emblems of wealth, stand barren. A landlord lamented on Douyin, "I poured 3 million yuan into apartments, but no one rents. Prices have fallen for a year straight. It's like Shanghai shrinking." Beijing's famed Friendship Store, a beacon of opulence, has closed, joined by countless others. The service sector is crumbling. Shanghai haircuts cost 8-10 yuan, unseen in decades. A barber admitted, "Our hands ache from work, but we can't afford to live." E-commerce, once a savior, is faltering, with 70% of businesses teetering on collapse. An online seller raged, "I spent 10,000 yuan on ads but earned 5,000. How do we go on?" The job market worsens the desolation. In 2025, 12.22 million graduates faced a grim outlook, with Yiwu University's employment rate at a mere 21.21%, some majors dipping to 3.83%. Master's graduate Yin Shang shared, "I sent 8,000 resumes, hit every job fair, but I'm still jobless." Many accept meager wages of 1,000–2,000 yuan monthly, barely enough to scrape by. A Shanghai student asked, "Is there no industry hiring?" This hopelessness pushes youth to stay home or retreat to rural towns, leaving cities hushed. A netizen observed, "No work, no funds. How can youth spend?" No surprise the malls are deserted. Population enigma. Where are 1.4 billion souls? The absence of people isn't just a sensation, it's fueled by doubts about China's population. The CCP claims 1.4 billion in 2024, but netizens in Anhui, Liaoning, and Fujian question this. An Anhui user stated, "A security insider says it's only 760 million. A Liaoning voice agreed. Around 780 million, tops. Scholar Li Yonhua, citing XAI's Grok 3, suggested China lost 1.52 billion during the pandemic, a shocking claim the CCP allegedly hides. Viral videos show vacant stations and streets in Shenzhen, Jiangsu, and Chongqing. Rural regions host ghost villages like Guangdong's Pingdi, abandoned with overgrown fields, or Jiangxi towns reduced to a few souls, high-rises cloaked in vines. A Henan filmmaker gasped, "This town held tens of thousands, now a few hundred. No birds, no pulse." Beijing's shuttered burn hospital, its gear dusty and operating room strewn with hundreds of teeth, evokes dread. Is the virus and economy erasing lives? Vanishing children, rising panic. Terror grows with mysterious child abductions. In Puchi, Fujian, an 8-year-old boy disappeared for 29 days. In Beijing, a 15-year-old vanished on Shishi Mountain. A Yunnan girl has been gone for over 4 months. Cases in Wuhan, Nanjing, and Anhui involve faulty cameras or vague witnesses. In Puchin, a girl was enticed to find a cat and snatched in a busy area. Netizens demand, with cameras everywhere, why no footage? Who's orchestrating this? Fear locks families indoors, deepening the urban silence. CCP's secrecy, a manufactured crisis. The CCP is accused of burying the truth. Dr. Lin Yao, formerly with the U.S. Army Research Institute, said on Elite Forum, China's CDC manipulates data, sharing only positivity rates to mislead. Producer Li Jun noted, the CCP lurches from harsh lockdowns to denying the virus. It's a disaster of their making. Censorship wipes posts about infections or ghost towns in minutes. A Guangdong user said, "My family's illness post vanished in 10 minutes. They block the truth." Xi Jinping faces mounting critique. Retired official Liu Huan at a Politburo meeting branded Xi's ideology absurd, citing 6 blunders: state-favored policies, private sector strangulation, and alienating diplomacy. Liu called for probes into ex-premier Li Keqiang's death and Xi's 13-year tenure, signaling rising discord. Pension outrage. Public fury ignites. The CCP's pension clawbacks fuel anger. In Guangdong, a 90-year-old retiree was told to repay 120,000 yuan, his pension cut from 30,000 to 20,000 yuan monthly. Hunan leaks reveal others repaying 4 years' pensions. A citizen roared, "The money's gone. How do we repay? Is this governance?" A Weibo user quipped, "They cut pensions to cut people. Less population, less debt. This policy impacting officials, teachers, and clerks stokes unrest." Rural wastelands. Villages fade. Rural China mirrors urban bleakness. Guangdong's Pingdi village lies empty, fields wild. A Jiangxi town once 10,000 strong holds a handful, its towers vine-draped. Henan's ghost towns and Beijing's locked hospital with expired drugs and eerie teeth chill the soul. A Chongqing user wrote, "A city of 30 million feels dead. Markets are barren. What's happening? Are the pandemic and economy quietly erasing populations?" XTV1's deadly spread. XTV1's rise terrifies. Wanjing Hospital warned it's hypercontagious, wrecking lungs in 48 hours via silent hypoxia. A censored Douyin video from a surgeon declared, "This foe is deadlier than ever." Guangdong reports family wabble infections. Qingdao users lament unaffordable care. Symptoms include searing throats, bloody coughs, and chills. The CDC logged 168,573 cases in April 2025, but experts like Dr. Lin Zhaoyi say the toll's higher. The CCP's secrecy banning COVID death records breeds distrust. A Shenzhen user said, "Hospitals overflow, but no one says COVID. They think we're blind." Economic stasis. Dragon Boat Festival fades. The 2025 Dragon Boat Festival, once joyous, mirrors decay. Guangzhou's Fulong Miao Market brims with zongzi and fruit, but buyers are absent. A vendor sighed. 2 watermelons sold all morning. Prices are low but no takers. Stores stand empty, staff idle. Consumer confidence is at a 2022 low, with youth joblessness soaring and property prices at 2017 levels. Shanghai's housing costs 50 times the $5,700 average income, locking $19 trillion in savings, exceeding GDP. This stalls the economy, tied to famine-era frugality. Financial chaos, corruption exposed. Corruption shakes China's banks. In May 2025, 4 Jiangsu bank chairmen were ousted. ICBC's Shen Rongqin was arrested, sparking debate. A banker said they managed billions, earned millions, grafts inevitable. An industrial bank internship for wealthy clients' kids ignited fury. A netizen wrote, "My child's brilliant but poor, their future's barred." With deposit rates under 1%, savers like Fujian's yuan 3-year interest on 1 million yuan dropped from 105,000 to 39,000. A nation unraveling. From Shanghai's hushed streets to Jiangxi's ghost villages, China faces a perfect storm. A deadly virus, economic collapse, and a distrusted regime. The CCP's opacity and missteps have shattered faith, leaving citizens fearful. Is this the pandemic's fallout, an economic implosion, or a deeper secret? As malls empty, children vanish, and villages fade, the 1.4 billion population feels like a fiction. China teeters on the edge, its future shrouded in doubt. Tienanmen's Iron Veil, a climate of fear and economic ruin in 2025 Beijing. Picture Tiananmen Square, Beijing's historic core, no longer a place for casual strolls. On June 4, 2025, access demands pre-booking via WeChat, even for seniors over 60 or ex-soldiers, with slots reserved a day ahead. Without one, entry is barred, as if the Chinese Communist Party (CCP) seeks to obliterate memories of the 1989 bloodshed. Footage shows the square ringed by police, soldiers, and undercover agents. 3 steps a checkpoint, 5 steps a guard, said Mr. Liang, a Beijing local, in an Epoch Times interview. I was just switching subway lines through Tiananmen, but my ID was checked thrice. The city feels braced against an unseen foe. This fortress-like security stretches beyond central Beijing to suburbs like Yanjiao in Hebei, where bus travelers to the capital face QR code scans and ID checks at barricades. Everything needs pre-booking. IDs are checked constantly. "I showed mine 100 times, a visitor from another province vented online. Veteran journalist Gao Yu, posting on X, noted fierce censorship as June 4 neared. "No sensitive word slips through," she wrote, before signing off, silenced. Beijing's air isn't just tense. It's thick with dread as the CCP's grip chokes the nation. Hong Kong stifles mourning, a flower as a felony. Far south in Hong Kong, repression is harsher still. On June 4, 2025, Victoria Park, once a beacon for Tiananmen vigils, is sealed tight. A man in black white cap on sat with 2 e-candles and was swiftly swarmed by plainclothes agents, then hauled away by over a dozen uniformed officers. A viral video captured 2 female students near the park's fountain, clutching flowers, only to be interrogated and detained. Holding a flower or candle is now a crime. "This regime is crumbling," fumed a netizen. "Such small acts of memory, carrying a bloom or lighting a flame, are now criminalized as authorities strive to erase Tiananmen's legacy, rendering it a forbidden topic." Economic abyss, Beijing's fading pulse. As security clamps down, China's economy spirals into chaos. Beijing, once a thriving hub, now feels lifeless. The Jinrong Mall west of the 4th Ring Road, once packed, stands silent as a tomb. Empty escalators, shuttered brands like Adidas, and a lone Dianping store with no customers paint a bleak scene. The parking lot, formerly overflowing, lies vacant. "I came to Beijing and didn't recognize it. It's the same city, but its heartbeat's gone," a visitor said. Store closures hit 93%. On a street of 100 shops, only a few cling on. Businesses rarely last 2 years, some fold in months. "Running a shop is rarer than seeing a meteor," a small owner sighed. Office rents have crashed. Wangjing Soho, once 15 RMB per square meter, now lingers at 24 RMB. Financial Street, 30 RMB in 2016, is down to 68 RMB. The Duxing subway line, once teeming with migrant workers, is empty even at rush hour. "Last year I fought to board trains. This year I walked onto the first," a netizen noted. The poor's burden, even noodles turn luxe. Amid this slump, daily essentials grow out of reach. The poor man's trio, instant noodles, pickled vegetables, cola, once a worker's staple, now strains budgets. A large Master Kong noodle pack costs 6 RMB. Smaller ones hit 4.55 RMB. "I agonized before buying a small pack. It feels extravagant," a resident said. A 330ml cola rose from 2 to 2.5 RMB. A 70g Wang pickled vegetable pack jumped from 0.5 to 3 RMB. Prices climb daily, but wages don't. Survival's a fight, a woman groaned. Zigu Trends reported this price surge targeting low-end markets spreading fast. Noodles, pickles, cola are still cheapest, but even they're heavy, it noted. While the CCP urges spending, citizens hoard cash as incomes lag behind soaring costs. Boost consumption? With what money? Raise wages? Any idiot knows how to spend, a lone industry worker snapped. Migrant workers' plight. Scraping by. Beijing's migrant workers face brutal times. At Makuri labor market near Wuyuan, men in their 30S and 40S line roadsides, hoping for work. Can you really find jobs just standing here? One asked. Many arrive at 3 or 4 a.m., waiting in darkness to survive. A 26-year-old from Hebei shared, I earn 6,000 RMB monthly, but half's rent. I live on 800 RMB, cooking meals under 10 RMB. I work 6 days till 9 p.m. Then cook. Graduates from other provinces, lacking Beijing hukou, suffer most, often saddled with 200,000, 300,000 RMB in hidden online loans. We're just trying to live, one said. Jobs are scarce, mostly sales, customer service, or live streaming, with pay barely above entry level. Belt and Road's global toll. Globally, China's Belt and Road Initiative leaves wounds. Indonesia's Jakarta-Bandung high-speed rail, launched in 2016 at $4 billion, 0 cents, swelled to $7 billion, $300 million, 0 cents, opening late in October 2023. Despite 8 million passengers by February 2025, it lost $193 million, 0 cents in its first year. Experts warn it may take 40 years to profit, questioning the debt China burdens on poorer nations. Sri Lanka, unable to repay, ceded Hambantota port, now a Chinese stronghold. Pakistan's CPEC grapples with crippling debt. The Lowy Institute reports developing nations owe China $35 billion, 0 cents by 2025, with 75 countries at risk of collapse. CCP's inner turmoil. Lukashenko's shadowy visit. As June 4 loomed, Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko's unannounced June 24, 2025 visit to China stirred intrigue. His private meeting with Xi Jinping at Zhongnanhai after Xi's 15-day absence since May 20 fanned rumors of Xi's shaky control. Commentator Tang Jingyuan said, "This isn't strength, it's the CCP quashing talk of Xi's decline." Belarusian media called it a family lunch, but the absence of Xi's wife, Peng Liyuan, and lack of deals hinted at Russia probing Xi's status via Lukashenko. Commentator Huang Hao noted the visit's urgency, possibly to scout successors. Xi's absence from People's Daily front pages June 1 through 3 and the meeting's low profile deepened doubts. A secure leader wouldn't hide like this, Huang said. After 10 p.m., the once buzzy commercial street stands eerily empty, devoid of its former life. The scene is haunting. This street, once alive with the hum of shoppers and diners, now echoes with silence. Gold Apple Restaurant, which opened just 2 months ago, has already changed hands twice. The latest owner is hanging on by a thread, unable to find a buyer. Nearby, Little Fluffy, a small shop featuring a stuffed cat as its mascot, sits abandoned, its toy mascot shedding fur from neglect. The owner vanished without paying rent. Foot traffic, the lifeblood of retail, has all but disappeared. Employees outnumber customers. For those still holding on, it's a daily grind against despair. One former employee of a state-owned enterprise confided, "I never thought this could happen. I believed a government job meant security for life." After 8 years, he was laid off without warning and has been jobless ever since. Now he takes on odd jobs, uncertain of what comes next. The catering industry has been hit particularly hard. The most profitable trade now? Reselling used restaurant equipment. A stark indicator of mass closures. From January to October 2023, 3.5 million new food and beverage businesses were registered, but over 1 million have since shut down. Nearly 30,000 of those were coffee shops. The automotive sector is another casualty. Car dealerships, especially 4S stores, have suffered due to relentless price wars and slow-moving inventory. Vehicles pile up unsold, and the entire supply chain feels the squeeze. Pig farming, once a stronghold, is crumbling. Pork prices have dropped over 40%, slashing revenue. Industry giant Muiyan lost over 2 trillion yuan in market value. New Hope Group reported a loss of 875 million yuan in Q3 alone. The stock market isn't faring any better. It's in free fall. Even Warren Buffett reportedly lost over 1 trillion yuan. The volatility has scared off novice investors, turning the market into a minefield. Real estate has also collapsed. There's not much left to say. The disaster is visible in empty buildings and abandoned construction sites. The once thriving live stream e-commerce sector has faded. A few elite influencers still profit, but 99.3% of streamers now lose money. Consumers have run out of savings post-pandemic. The audience has dwindled, and platforms are shutting down. Unemployment is reshaping lives. One woman shared that her husband lost his job in October. 2 months later, they still survive on one income. They no longer eat out or shop freely. Groceries now come from wet markets, not supermarkets. Clothes purchases require extensive price comparisons. The family uses an e-bike to transport their kids instead of a car. A 30-year-old fan reached out. She's been laid off, drowning in debt. She survives on steamed buns and pickled vegetables and recently had to borrow from her mother. Everyone's struggling, she said, and it's true. Even in Nanjing, a city praised for talent, finding stable work is tough. Job listings show low-paying roles: real estate, call centers, live stream sales. Delivery drivers work 12-hour shifts for 6,000 yuan. Security guards and janitors make 3,000 to 4,000 yuan. Office workers earn about 5,000 yuan. Some sales positions don't offer a base salary. A relative seeking work in Nanjing gave up after a few days. He wanted 8,000 yuan/month and weekends off. When he couldn't find that, he returned home. Many young people now regret stretching themselves to buy homes in big cities, only to face unsteady income and loan pressures. Then came a stunning protest. At Shouling Traditional Chinese Medicine Hospital in Sichuan, a group of medical workers climbed a ledge to demand unpaid wages. Images showed about 10 doctors and nurses in white coats perched above the hospital logo. Firefighters rushed to place air cushions below. The local health commission denied it was over salaries, blaming dissatisfaction with management. Few believed the official version. This wasn't isolated. In November, Luohe Maternity Hospital in Hainan was exposed for withholding salaries for over a year. Staff protested, some shouting, "We can't survive." The Health Bureau's response: "There's no money." Another hospital in Shandong faced similar accusations. China's economy, after 3 pandemic years, is buckling. Civil servants, doctors, and teachers are seeing pay cuts. At Beijing Tongren Hospital, performance bonuses and night shift allowances were slashed by up to 50% in August. Some allowances were later restored, but bonuses remain halved. A national survey of 3,563 medical staff found that over 64% had experienced pay reductions. A doctor in Guangxi shared that his salary fell from 6,550 to 4,210 yuan since March, a 35% drop. A head nurse in East China reported earning less than in 2019. Her April salary was just 8,000 yuan, down from over 10,000. Night shift pay has fallen from 200 yuan to just 20 yuan. Salaries decline monthly. Staff morale crumbles. As China's major cities sink further into economic distress, the psychological toll is becoming impossible to ignore. Once bustling urban centers now resemble empty shells, echoing with a silence that says more than any headline. In many districts of Beijing, Nanjing, and Chengdu, the atmosphere is eerily subdued. Coffee shops open without customers, metro stations hum with emptiness, and previously crowded sidewalks are now wide open spaces. Public despair is growing. not just in the margins of the economy but among the country's once stable middle class. Online, this unease manifests in ways both subtle and dramatic. On Weibo and Xiaohongshu, posts about job loss, wage cuts, and rising mental health struggles are often deleted within hours. Yet the internet remembers. Screenshots circulate in private groups and encrypted chats, where users share everything from suicidal confessions to photos of unpaid utility bills. "I never thought I'd live to see this day," reads one anonymous post from a 34-year-old former tech worker in Hangzhou. "I once worked at Alibaba, now I drive for Meituan. I haven't told my parents." This quiet suffering is compounded by a growing awareness that no one, not even government employees, is immune. In late December 2024, civil servants in Shandong and Liaoning reported delayed year-end bonuses and a sudden halt to transportation subsidies. Some local governments have quietly frozen hiring altogether. Educators, once respected and relatively secure, are facing a new reality. Reduced teaching hours, merged classes, and contract non-renewals. In Anhui, a school principal reportedly told staff, "Your salary will come, just not this quarter." The deeper problem is structural. China's growth model, long reliant on infrastructure spending and real estate expansion, has hit a wall. Ghost cities have transitioned from internet meme to stark reality. In provinces like Heilongjiang and Inner Mongolia, entire apartment complexes built on speculation remain unsold. Even in economic hubs like Shenzhen, thousands of newly developed units sit vacant. The 2025 survey by Tsinghua University found that nearly 22% of urban residents own at least one empty home, a staggering figure in a country with declining birth rates and slowing household formation. The response from the authorities has been to double down on control. In early January 2025, major tech platforms were ordered to suspend negative sentiment indices, internal metrics tracking mass sentiment based on user behavior. Officials fear that digital data may fuel panic or, worse, public demonstrations. But offline cracks are forming. In Hubei's Yagan city, laid-off factory workers staged a rare sit-in, holding signs that read, "We built this city, now we're discarded." Videos of the event briefly went viral before being wiped from domestic platforms. Meanwhile, China's vast countryside faces a different but no less dire reality. In rural Yunnan, many farmers who invested in modern greenhouses with borrowed money are now abandoning them. Crop prices have plunged, transport costs have soared, and many families are surviving on remittances from relatives in cities who are themselves struggling. One elderly farmer told Phoenix Weekly, "I haven't sold a full truck of vegetables in 3 months. No one's buying. Everyone's just trying to eat rice." Amid all this, emigration is no longer just a dream, it's a plan. In forums like Zhihu and Tieba, threads titled "How to Move to Canada" or Singapore are among the most viewed. Consulting firms that assist with foreign study and investment migration report a surge in interest. For China's educated mobile class, run philosophy has become a cultural phenomenon. One recent graduate put it bluntly, "My parents wanted me to get into Tsinghua so I could build the country. I got in. Now I just want to get out." What's most chilling is not that people are angry, it's that many have gone quiet. They've stopped protesting, stopped applying for jobs, stopped planning. Instead, they wait. A silence that speaks of resignation, of waiting for some vague, undefined shift in the wind. And yet, amid the gloom, some flickers remain. Mutual aid groups are forming. Unemployed youth are turning to collective farming and co-living experiments in Sichuan and Yunnan. Disillusioned entrepreneurs are launching small, hyperlocal ventures, not for profit but for community. While the state remains focused on GDP and surveillance, the people are slowly rebuilding their own version of stability, far from official slogans and party banners.